Alright, here we are back for our test match. Let's get into it. Cannot keep this in, unfortunately. If this was a forest, I might actually keep. It's too bad, though. This hand's actually just insane. It would have two 1-mana 3/3s in it. It already has the Nylea presence, but unfortunately, due to only having one land, can't keep. This hand's a bit better. I think I'll keep it on the draw. May not fetch on turn 1 depending on what's on top. We'll have to see. Alright, well, we are gonna fetch. Gonna fetch for a forest here instead of a mountain, depending on what I see from my opponent on turn 1. See, the thing is, you can fetch for a mountain here on turn 1 because you have more chances of drawing green sources anyway. Forest, huh? Alright, I think I'll get a mountain then. You have more chances of getting a forest, so, yep, just like that. So now we get to go Wild Nacatl and a 2/3 Kirdape, and then next turn, if we draw a third land, we get to go... I need to figure out how to record this at 60 FPS. Forest, huh? That's interesting. Alright, well, we're going to go Nylea's Presence now on the mountain. Because Forest casts more spells. Did not draw it, but we do get to attack for 5, which is pretty much the dream opening on turn 3. Are we up against Stompy? Oh, Boggles. Okay. Well, our opponent's dead in 2 turns. Crumbling Besiege. What does Crumbling Besiege do in this deck? I don't know, guys. You tell me. Alright, well, we drew both mountains, so if my opponent... Oh, they would go to 2. Opponent is almost dead. So what we can do now is we can Abundant Growth on the mountain. We can then play Core Skyfisher. White and that. And then return the Abundant Growth. If I draw another Lightning Bolt, the game is definitely over. But we'll see. Well, that sucks. Just a quick gain of 9 life. And a Kirdape. Let's see here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 5 is 16. There's still a Lightning Bolt off. We do get 1 redraw. We drew a Squadron Hawk. Unfortunately, this is also now an 11, so we can't actually win. The 3 life that the 11 life they're going to gain is too much, so we actually just cannot win anymore. Unfortunately, that's what happens with Boggles. But you're seeing now how this deck functions, of course. Boggles, of course, is a saying of course too much, but Boggles, as always, a bad matchup for the. I'm gonna bring in Electricky for game 1 against really almost any deck that does not play the color black, which this deck does, but does not play Chainer's Edict. So Gardening Angler is too slow. You don't really need it. I like bringing Electrickery. I think Electrickery is actually pretty good against this deck. You don't really need the Rankers, but the problem with the Rankers now is that the Squadron Hawks become worse. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the Hawks. I think the Hawks are just not great in this matchup. And I'll bring in the Rankers. The reason why I like the Rankers over the Gardening Angler is because Ranker actually wins the game faster. That's the basic reason of why I'm keeping it in. Could always take out the Una's Grace, but I think the Una's Grace is still fine. At least it's a cantrip. So we'll submit. Let's get back into it. This hand is not great. I could keep this hand, but the problem is that this hand is too slow and it relies too much on drawing a standard bearer. So I think I'm going to actually just throw it back. This hand is somewhat better, just need a way to actually get white. That's really all I need. And we'll see what happens. It really does suck though that my opponent went forest, drew a creature, and then won the game last time. That stings. That stings. I'm going to attack for 1. I don't really care if my opponent trades. I can lose my creature. Abundant Growth into a land would be incredible right now. do need to get Standard Bearer down before anything else happens. Of course, this is another problem that you actually run into the deck. This is a perfect problem. So game 1, you saw how the deck perfectly runs, and right now you're seeing how the deck can run. Sometimes this can happen where you just don't have enough colored sources to actually cast your spells. Excuse me. Another Standard Bearer. Okay, well, it's not exactly what I was talking about, but, you know. Not much you can do about this. Alright, opponent played an Armadillo Cloak, which can be raced. Can't anymore. Slowly losing this game. I think if my opponent goes Ancestral Mass, the game is pretty much over. So this is typically what can happen, but I am getting quite unlucky here, which is a bit unfortunate. There's not much I can really say. But such is Magic. Why play the game if you can't really deal with the variants? And yeah, the game's over. Oh, it doesn't let me check? Oh, that's just not fair. I wanted to see if I was going to draw the white source. I wanted the Forbidden Peak. Damn you, Magic Online, you suck.